Hi everybody, I'm Rootscar.
I'm Seamus.
I'm Josh.
And I'm Chris.
And we are playing Tomb Raider. And we are playing this with my 360 controller because we decided to see how that works. So I'm actually using Ventrilo's hands-free thing, which may or may not cause me to cut off more or less than before.
And can I always
should
say,
be a fun adventure.
I just get jazzed every time we introduce multiple separate, independent variables to our confusing clusterfuck of a recording
Wholly
system.
untested.
It's
Wholly
It's
untested
wholly
new
untested.
features.
Just
I don't
inserting...
even. The best part about this is I don't know any of the controls for the 360, so okay, that's that.
Just inserting new elements into our show live. It's great.
A jumps.
Right bumper doesn't seem to do anything. Yeah, A is jump, X is interact with stuff.
Which button do you press to come on and slam, and what thumbstick do you use to come to the jam?
Alright,
Okay, well, you found the fall into a bottomless abyss button.
Well, the good
Well,
news
B
is
to
that it
extinguish
doesn't seem to have it doesn't seem to have impacted Josh's skill at the game at all.
Yeah,
You said I
there's-
couldn't do this on a 360 controller, but I totally can. In fact, this is actually easier than using
I've
numbers.
never done that. I've never done that because I'm not a weirdo.
That looks totally natural to me.
Cool.
You guys don't do that?
Okay, so that's melee.
And for clarity, I do that in real life. Like, that's how I get things out of my pocket.
That bridge is swarming with guards.
So, okay,
just gotta-
we're on the island of Misfit Toys here.
Probably make your way across
Yep.
underneath.
Fighting
And we're on the
Rufios,
phone, and we're on the phone with Roth.
I'll be covering you the
playing Larry Craft's
She just
crime-fighting
put
alter
it
ego,
back
Tom
in her
Raider.
pocket while Roth was talking. Like, fuck it, I don't care.
Talk
Hey,
to the
Laura.
butt, Roth.
Want to go
Talk to
bowling?
the butt.
This game would benefit from a one of those GTA 4 systems like Rescon was talking
I've got
about.
them in my sight.
Just having Grim being like, I'm dead still.
Oh, that's interesting. It's not the same button.
No, because it's on a controller now.
Yeah.
the outsider?
This was cool. I just picked up my controller and started doing stuff, and I immediately switched over to all the controller inputs.
I do like that. This does strike me as being a pretty solid PC port.
Well, shit, the gig is up, guys.
I thought I lost you, girl. Are you okay?
Really, the only problem with the controller is aiming is not as accurate as with a mouse, but I think the platforming is stronger with the controller, honestly.
Don't move.
Yeah, that, you know what? When I got into the platforming parts of the
Oh,
game,
that was bullshit. He said stop, don't move, and I'd already jumped over, and it just stopped me from doing anything.
in this game, I was doing the platforming and I thought, oh, this would feel so much better with the controller, and then I'd get into a firefight and I was like, bud, I am not doing this with an analog stick. No way.
Yeah. I mean, I've gotten okay at console shooting, but
I just don't
definitely
enjoy
not
it.
great at it.
Even when, like, no matter how easy you make it, it just doesn't feel good to me. I hate the bump and nudge.
I should probably be paying more attention to Roth than you.
This
I
could
feel
really
like
benefit.
at this point.
This sequence could really benefit from a Wile E. Coyote segment, where at one point you're edging along the thing, it sort of zooms in, and you need to pull out a bow to shoot some targets, and then it zooms out to show that you're not holding on to anything.
Stop! Hold it.
So you're supposed to listen to Roth here, and
Yeah.
go when he says go,
Stop!
because he shoots all the bad guys for you and clears your path.
Have you noticed
Oh,
that
that-
whenever one of these
That
segments
gas
happen,
can just was beamed out by aliens.
have you noticed whenever one of these sequences happens in video games or movies, they're never wrong. They're like, okay, walk, now turn 3/4. Stop, wait, take a shallow breath, Okay, reach in the door. You'll find some M&Ms. Take out all the green ones and put in your pocket. Now, here's what I need you to do. And they never fuck up, and it never goes wrong. And they're never like, oops, my bad, wrong office. I was thinking of my office, you see. Oftentimes, I go off on the wrong floor to the elevator, and then, like, you just see the person being gunned out.
Oh man, the controller rumble is really freaking weird on a PC game. I'm just not used to that.
But it lets you know that things are happening.
What is my key? Okay, X is my,
It's
my
X, it's
key
X.
for this.
I'm heading in.
Nicely done.
You sure about this?
I would not want to try and grab a controller in the middle of that sequence and figure out the controls.
I mean, it's gotten to the point where I can kind of like feel out from the keyboard controls what the buttons on an Xbox 360 controller would do. So, like, I've played like enough games on the 360 and then on the PC, like Alan Wake, I did that, where I kind of know how people tend to port video games from one to the other and change the control schemes.
Right,
It's not
right.
like completely uninformed, but it's a little bit. Oh,
See,
there's
back
some
then, see
weirdness going
how
on.
Laura's like keeping her
Shadowing.
face pointed up and
It's
sort of,
like-
like looking up and waddling.
Is this like every beginning of the week we have this where everything kind of breaks? Is that how this goes?
Yeah.
Like, it has to happen at least once.
Well, at least
I
we
think
know
it
what-
literally
Now,
requires
because I can do
crashing and then recovering to work properly.
Yeah, I think that's. We probably have a. I think we probably just recently got a checkpoint save, so I'm gonna restart the game. And just, Seamus, you really need to give me an official technical difficulties thing so
Yeah,
that
I
I
do.
can
I'll
fucking.
get you
Oh
one.
yeah, yeah. All right.
What? Oh, that's the main menu.
Stop the rendering.
Hey kid, I'm a computer. Stop all the
Stop
rendering.
recording. Stop recording.
Okay. Oh wait, no, hold on. I know how you get out of this room. So there's gonna be like 3 stone blocks up above the doorway, and you're gonna be like, oh, how does this puzzle work? And then you have to turn them so I think it's like snake, whale, hawk. And then you fight
Oh,
Draugr
God,
until your
don't.
fucking eyeballs bleed.
But okay, so the best part of Skyrim was the dungeon design, but the worst part of the dungeons were the dumb puzzles with the 3 symbols that were
Dumb.
hanging right next to them. It's like, I wonder what the combination to this lock is. It was like a bank putting their giant safe combination on the safe, on the outside of the safe door.
Here is my most hated cutscene in the game. I hate this friggin' retarded cutscene. I hate it so bad. So
Is this
Laura
that
comes
one?
in. This is the one where every single weapon in her arsenal would be better than this stupid damn bow. She's got a bunch of guys that are all masked up, and she confronts them holding the bow when she owns an assault rifle. She could fire into this crowd and solve all her problems, but instead she's going to threaten them with the bow. It's
Hell,
just-
even
I
with
got
the bow, she could take Matthias right now.
Yes. But no, she stands there, waits, and then instead of taking action, she announces herself and gets captured in a cutscene, and screw this retarded writing. This is where I got angry at the game and started getting sick of the stupid crap it does.
You killed our brother! Now I'm gonna kill you!
How?
This is for Vladimir, outsider!
Wait, don't you have an axe? You could be hitting him with your fucking axe?
Yeah, this is definitely the most offensive cutscene.
It's like, oh no, how am I supposed to handle some guy running towards me?
Like the other cutscenes didn't bother me nearly as much as they bothered Seamus, but this one kind of did.
just really, you're standing there, you've got, well, and it did the cutscene bit of trickery where all of a sudden the guys are on top of you, you know, through camera cuts. It takes out the part where they close the distance, where you could just be firing into the crowd with an assault rifle. I understand that it would be so much better if it was a trap like, oh, you know, I got caught in a snare, Matthias knew you were coming and had been planning against you, you got caught up in a net, you couldn't do anything, and then this cutscene happened. Because I understand this cutscene needs to happen. We get to see Himiko demonstrate her powers and choose Sam.
And again, this is like, I saw this as the build-up to the end of the game, where, spoiler, it isn't. We're not even halfway through yet.
Yeah. And this is, you know, instead of making the bad guys smarter, they made the main character as stupid as possible. And then to fix this, they have to make the bad guys even dumber. Because he could just, I mean, how many people has Matthias murdered unceremoniously? He does it all the time, but he, like, orders them to send her away. Instead of just jabbing her once with the spear and being done, he orders 2 henchmen to take her away, and...
I don't like how they just stare at her.
Like...
Alright, here we have the descent scene in the entire game.
Yep.
Okay, guys... It's getting really old. You need to stop pouring all the tomato soup down here.
Like, where do they get this blood from?
Cherry cobbler.
I mean, although, to be fair,
well, the bodies.
This could be most... I know, but like this much blood. Like, when I first fell in here, I thought this volume of blood would take hundreds of people. But actually, it could be mostly water, and it doesn't take much blood to turn water just red.
Let's go bobbing for shotgun parts.
It might actually not even be blood. There are lots of things in nature that will dye water this color.
That's horrifying. I didn't need to know that. Thank you, Dr.
Yeah,
Science.
no, seriously, it's... If
volcanic algae.
It's creepy shit.
Now we're gonna die. Regarding that cutscene, I'm glad they didn't like do the really cliched thing and make it like, oh, you thought Sam was actually the chosen one, but really it's Laura. I kind of thought they were building up to that, and they didn't do that, which I thought was nice.
But does it root you to the spot and make
what
her
not to
turn
do
into a giant dragon and fight Molag Bal?
No, what not to do when you're trapped in a cave, part 1, set off a natural gas fire.
Yeah. This is, I want to stress that I'm not against this part of the game in practice. Like, okay, they've taken away all your weapons except for your bow, and then you fight through these caverns, and you have the spooky descent scene. We can haggle over this from a gameplay point. But that's totally separate from my objection to that cutscene, which was just that it was so ham-fisted, so clumsy, and so dumb, and required every single person in that scene to act like an idiot to get us into this situation. And it could have been handled so much more gracefully.
The helicopter isn't our way off. You know that, Lara, in your gut.
I wish there was something for me to do at this screen so I could have an excuse to listen to this whole thing from Lara. I guess I've managed to waste enough time to do that anyway.
Every new brother is a son.
I just wish they didn't have the guys punch the crap out of Lara, because that looked like it should be one of those physical injuries that sticks with her, and it doesn't.
Yeah.
She just sort of gets pummeled by like 8 dudes,
like
and it's like, you know, she
concussion
gets Rodney
time.
King'd, and it's not a big deal.
That's actually the thing that's a little bit sickening about that. Well, I say a little bit. That's the thing about that cutscene that sickens me. It isn't just so much how it was stupid that you do that. Like, that you feel like the game manhandled your character by having them do something stupid and then having her get caught in a cutscene. That's bad. But it makes it worse that the punishment is so brutal and horrible and visceral.
I hit the dude I was trying to save with that. Well, oh well.
Well, you killed him quickly. You saved him from the horror of being eaten alive.
I've saved you from the horror of being eaten alive by burning you alive instead. Aren't I
Yes.
a great friend?
I like that they still have electricity down here. You get these light bulbs. Like,
Why doesn't
wow,
even have
I
any
would.
loot on him?
This is a foul place. This is and again, this is the pulpy boy. The bad guys are dumb section. I mean, they get new recruits and then they throw them down here to make them starve to death, and then
No, this is where the
Well,
women and children go, I thought. This is the mines of the
Oh.
damned or whatever. At least I think it is. Isn't it?
Looks
Yeah.
like the early 18th
This is where the women, the children, and the infirm
Remember,
go.
black silk fans were used when
And they're
conducting
not fed, so they
funeral
turn
rites
into
for
cannibals.
Which is why you get all these zombie things attacking you, and it's only in this area of the game.
Using both sticks at the same time does some crazy stuff in this mode. What the fuck?
Wouldn't it be funny if they, instead of doing this, they actually just had like a room at the back where they had some old couches and a Nintendo 64? like a gym or something.
What gyms do you go to that have 2 couches and a Nintendo 64? Like,
I know,
the
like
laziest
they have like
shit
kid
ever.
zones, like for when you bring your kid. You can't just drop your kid
Right.
off at daycare.
right. Well, but Rutskarn's mom is working out. Rutskarn goes into the nursery.
I'm gonna go to the gym and work on my Mario Kart.
True story. I did not own a console growing up. The only reason I know anything about console games
Is this
from
the
that
guy asking me to
generation
kill him? I don't think
firsthand
so.
is because my parents exercised.
Yes. I don't have any food for you, dude. Here's this GPS cache I found. Here you go. Why don't you figure out what the fuck those are about?
No, I'm sorry, I don't have any food. I'm just geocaching. Sorry, I gotta keep moving. Bye.
And what's in this cache? It's a human corpse, just like the last 8 on this island.
The geocache has like a bag of candy in it. You're like, oh, well, I can't take it all. That'd be wrong. And put the rest of it back. And
Geocache
And
just
I'll
says
put
LARPing
in
instructions.
this sweet ass axe I found.
did they take your axe, Josh?
No,
No, you've still
I
got it on your. You've got it on your hip. So that's kind of interesting. That you had that fight with those 2 guys after all the other railroading. You had that fight with the 2 guys on the bridge where everybody stared at each other awkwardly, and they were like, "So you're gonna jump?" And she was like, "So you're gonna kill me?" And they were like, "I don't know." And she was like, "Well, I mean, it's a long way down." And they were like, "Oh, but I don't know. I don't want to get killed." And so she just jumped after a while.
Go check it out.
James, did you write this game? Because that would actually be. You really ought to do the dialogue.
But that terribly awkward scene where they're like, "So you're gonna jump?" And she's like, "Well, eventually." That scene. Why didn't she axe their faces in that
You
scene?
didn't know that it was falling. Like,
Oh yeah,
what was
so
going through her head
stealth
was,
kills have now
oh
become
god, this is high. Oh crap! Why did I
shoot
use
dude
my axe?
hit dude in shoulder with axe.
That is the most stealthy way to kill a man, is to drive an axe into his shoulder and then have him
Yep.
instantly and silently
it.
perish.
Well, it severs
Okay.
the nerve from the brain to the heart, and then he dies. I mean, what else?
That's how it works. See, this game is filled with science lessons. This episode is really a good science episode for us. We're like Bill Nye this
So, the best stealth kills were in Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines. And I'm gonna say this, and most people are gonna start bitching about fan patches in the comments, but I'm just gonna say how it is. How it is even if you only have 1 point in stealth,
But if I don't do it now,
nobody
I'll
will
have
see you as you
another
crouching around and sneaking.
Your mama got her
And so what you do is, there are 2 enemies in the same room patrolling idly. You sneak up, like you walk into the well-lit room by crouching. You slowly crawl behind one of them. and then you pull out a gardening implement, and then like you smash them on the head, and then you basically skip them across the floor, and the other guy is standing right in front of you and just is like, something happening? I thought I heard something. Why is that door open?
So this is the optional side lore stuff that many people might miss that reveals that, oh, by the way, Ray's daughter is also Roth's daughter. Oh, shit! What the f... Were they just waiting for me to stop reading that?
Oh, I thought we were going to come back to graphical glitches. I'm actually happy to see you get shot and killed.
Yeah.
When you start swearing, I just assume.
Leave it for the next shift. Hey, don't take too long down there. I want to finish this game.
This is why I'm nervous to have you play my video game.
Figure out how to ignite that shit. Shit. All right.
You'll find bugs in parts of the game that haven't even been written yet.
I'll go check it out. You can stay here.
That's actually probably an accurate statement.
No, that didn't work.
Intruder in the catapult.
No,